Hello everyone, welcome to the Yarn Bowl. Today in this video we're gonna see how to crochet this cute Amigurumi Tulips, perfect for spring. And I can't wait for spring to come. And here's the simple crochet tutorial or Amigurumi tutorial for making this cute tulips. If you want a free written pattern of this Amigurumi tulips, it's available in my website theyarnbowlcrochet.com. Link for that is available in the description. Meanwhile, if you're new to this channel, please do not forget to subscribe to the Yarn Bowl and click on the bell icon as well so that you get notified whenever I post a new video. So we'll need a couple of things to work this cute Amigurumi tulips. They are super simple to make and very pretty. You can make a bunch of them and you can make them as a flower bouquet for spring, and it's very cute and looks very pretty. And here's the things that we'll need for making this tulips. I'm going to use size 4 acrylic yarn. You can use any brand of size 4 acrylic yarn for making this tulips, and I will need some skewers. I'm taking 3 of these skewers and I'll tape them in equal intervals, and then I'm going to use them as stem. You can also use Dovet sticks for this. I'm using this skewers because I like this pointy tip on it, which will help to insert inside the flower. And I'm going to need a stitch marker because we are going to work this amigurumi in spiral, so we'll need stitch marker to identify our first stitch of each round. And then I'm going to use a blunt tip of this metal crochet hook for stucking in all the odd ends, and I'm going to use 3.5mm crochet hook. We'll also need scissors and some polyfill tapestry needle. And first I'm gonna use a colored yarn for making the flowers, and I'm gonna work a magic ring, and then I will work 6 single crochets on the magic ring for first round or round 1. So as I told you earlier, we're going to work in a spiral, so we need a stitch marker to identify our first stitch, because we'll not end each round by working a slip stitch on the first stitch. We'll start the second round right away. So once I have worked 6 single crochets, I have tightened the magic ring, and I'm going to work round 2. I'm going to work 2 single crochet on each stitch around. Once you have worked 2 single crochet, mark your first stitch with a stitch marker, and then you can secure your magic ring with a knot. And for round 2, as I told you, we're going to work 2 single crochet on each stitch around. So at the end of round 2, we are going to have 12 stitches. So now for round 3, I'm going to work 1 single crochet in one stitch and 2 single crochet on the next stitch around. So after you worked your first stitch, mark your stitch with the stitch marker, and then work 2 single crochet on the next stitch, and continue working 1 single crochet in one stitch and 2 single crochet on the next stitch around. So at the end of round 3, we are going to have 18 stitches. Now for round 4 we are going to work one single crochet in 2 stitch, that is one single crochet each on 2 stitches, and then 2 single crochet on the next stitch around. So after you worked your first stitch, mark it with a stitch marker and then continue working one more stitch on the next stitch, and then on the next stitch work 2 single crochets. So we're going to work one single crochet each on 2 stitches and 2 single crochet on the next stitch around, and at the end of this round we should have 24 stitches. So continue working round 4. I'll meet you at the end of round 4. So here we are at the end of round 4. Let's proceed with round 5. For round 5 we are going to work one single crochet each on 3 stitches and then 2 single crochet on the next stitch around. So after you worked your first stitch, mark it with a stitch marker and then go ahead, work one single crochet each on 3 stitches and then 2 single crochet on the next stitch around. So at the end of this round we should have 30 stitches. So continue to work round 5. I'll meet you at the end of round 5. So here we are at the end of round 5 and we are going to proceed working round 6. So from round 6 to round 18 it's going to be non-increment round, which means we are just going to work one single crochet on each stitch round. So for the next 13 rounds we are not going to increment any stitches, we are just going to work one single crochet on each stitch around. So which is very simple. Go ahead, work one single crochet on each stitch around for round 6. So from round 6 to round 18, at the end of each round we should have only 30 stitches. Now I am at the end of round 6. I am going to work round 7. For which I am again going to work one single crochet on each stitch around. So as usual I am marking my first stitch with a stitch marker. So I told you earlier we are going to work 13 rounds of non-increment, 13 rounds for non-increment rounds for 13 rounds. So I'm just pulling the center yarn on the first stitch of my round 6. So which will identify me that it's round 6, and it will be easier for me to count the next 13 rounds until round 18. Or you can also use a stitch marker to identify this, just to count your rounds. And go ahead, work one single crochet on each stitch around. So continue working this way until round 18. So at the end of each round we should only have 30 stitches. So do not add any more stitches to the rounds and proceed this way until we reach round 18. And I'll meet you at the end of round 18. So now after round 18, leave a long tail and fasten off and work a slip stitch to the next stitch. Now you can just pull the center yarn and then just tuck it inside, and we'll be filling it with polyfill. Now to the end of this yarn you need to attach a tapestry needle. I'm working a slip stitch just to secure my stitch, and then I'm going to attach a tapestry needle to this end of yarn, and then I'll start stuffing this flower with polyfill, and then we are going to gather our top and fold them just to make them look like tulip, and then I'm going to sew it. You can follow along the video to see how I'm going to sew the top. So here is our tulip bud, and we are going to proceed making the leaves. So for the leaves I'm going to use the sage green yarn, and I'm going to work a slip knot, and then I'll go ahead work 20 chains. After I've worked 20 chains, I'm going to work one single crochet on the second chain from the hook, and then I will work one more single crochet on the next chain as well. And then I'm going to work one half double crochet each on next 3 stitches or next 3 chains. And then next 9 chains I'm going to work one double crochet each. So we're going to work one double crochet each on next 9 chains until we have the last 5 chains left. Now on the next 3 chains of the last 5 chains, I'm going to work 1 half double crochet on each chain for the next 3 chains. Now we have 2 chains left. So in the next chain I'm going to work 1 single crochet. On the last chain I'm going to work through 3 single crochets, which will turn my work to the other side of the chain. I'm going to work with this little end of yarn, and then I'm going to work 1 single crochet on the next chain on the other side, and then I'm going to work 1 half double crochet on each chain for the next 3 chains on the opposite side. And for the next 9 chains on the opposite side, I'm going to work 1 double crochet on each chain on the opposite side. Now on the next 3 chains on the opposite side, I'm going to work 1 half double crochet on each chain on the opposite side for the next 3 chains. And on the last 2 chains I'm going to work 1 single crochet each, and then I'll go ahead work a slip stitch on top of my starting single crochet to close this leaf, and then I'm gonna fasten off, work a slip stitch and weave the ends, and you can cut any odd ends of the yarn. You need to make one more of this leaf for our tulip, and we'll be gluing this leaf to the stem. So go ahead, make one more of this leaf with the same pattern that we used. And now let's see how to work the stem. So now I'm taking 3 skewers. I prefer skewers because of this pointy top. You can also use metal wires or Dovet sticks, whichever is comfortable for you. I'm just taping these 3 squares because I want my stem to be thick, and the squares are long, so I will be cutting them or breaking them to the desired length I want, and I'll go ahead tape the squares on equal interval. Then I'm gonna use hot glue gun, and then I'm gonna insert this squares to my flower, and then I'm gonna use the same color yarn which I used for my leaves to glue around this skewers, which will make it look like a stem. And proceed with this, and then once you are done, you can fasten off your yarn, and then we can glue in the leaves on both sides of the stem. I'm going to glue the leaf on both sides of the stem. Look how simple this pattern was, and you can make this quickly. So it took around 30 minutes for me to make this flower, and you can make a bunch of them, and you can give them as a flower bouquet or tulip bouquet. It's going to look very pretty with a bunch of flowers on it. and I hope you enjoyed making this cute amigurumi tulips or crochet tulips. I made 3 of them and already it looks so pretty. So go ahead, try this pattern and let me know your comments. You can also tag me in your Instagram post. You can find my Instagram ID at the end of this video or in the description. Go ahead, if you like, follow me on Instagram as well. And if you want a free written pattern of this cute amigurumi tulips, it's available in my website, theyarnbowlcrochet.com. Link for that is available in the description. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching. Bye.